Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing really well. Full disclosure, I have technically already filmed this video and I apologise for there not being a video last week because this video was meant to be last week, but then I had some slight technical difficulties. I tried to be clever and, well, not tried to be clever, I tried something new and I couldn't transfer the file and it was just all a bit of a so we're going to do it again. Today's going to be a really simple, just get ready with me. And most of these products are from the surprise beauty box that I did with Rebecca. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it because I unboxed them all and just kind of chat about them a little bit more. But she sent me quite a few, you know, kind of doubles of things, which is absolutely amazing. So I didn't get a chance to try them all in that video. So I wanted to just play with them again. This isn't going to be first impressions because, like I say, I have already filmed this technically, but I did then wear them for the rest of that day, so I can give you a little bit more information on like how they wore and just stuff like that, which I kind of think, you know, might be more helpful anyway. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise, I don't know, but I do still apologise for there having not been a video last week because, you know, that's annoying, I get it. So to prime my eyes, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden, and I go through a bit of a love-hate relationship with this product. When I first bought it, I loved it, and then swiftly decided that I hated it. And then I was using the Eye Fidelity Primer from H&M for ages, and I loved that primer, absolutely loved it. But they stopped making it or stopped selling it, so I was like, wow, why? That's so annoying. It's my only thing with sort of fashion line beauty brands is that they often tend to do that, I find. You can't really rely on them so much. So if you find a product that you really love from them, stock up because you can't guarantee that it'll be there forever. But I have actually really been enjoying using this because whilst I find it a little bit tricky to work with sometimes. So for example, on my right eye, it goes on beautifully and there's no issues. But with my left one, I just have this little patch at the front that it clings to and you can't see it at all. I've got, you know, eyeshadow on and everything, but just no amount of, you know, patting and blending and smoothing. And I've tried applying this with a brush, I've tried applying it with a sponge, you know, obviously I've gone back to just using my fingers because I do think that's how this applies the easiest, because it is quite a heavily pigmented primer. It really brightens the eyelid, which again I think is the reason that I've actually been reaching for it quite a lot lately, because I do get a bit of darkness around my eyes, which I just, you know, particularly when you have very deep set eyes or hooded eyes, you kind of want to brighten the area, yeah, as much as you can, but equally without it looking, you know, like you've really tried to brighten your eye. Do you know what I mean? Because then it just kind of looks a bit like, woo. So for my eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using the Kiko Milano palettes that I got in the beauty box, and this is the Holiday Gems gorgeous eyeshadow palette, number 2 Forever Glam. I have been reaching for this eyeshadow palette every time that I've done my makeup since I got it. I absolutely loved it. I love the colours, I love the level of pigmentation that you get. For how affordable this palette is, it is absolutely stunning. And it says a lot about the colours as well, because if you're like me and you're warm toned skin but you go pale in winter, it can be really difficult to get those shades right, because warm tones can look too warm in the winter, but then you use something cool tone and it just makes you look grey, and you know, it can be tricky, whereas this is absolutely perfect. So I've used this very kind of neutral beigey, greygey kind of a tone, and then to just deepen up the eye a little bit, let me have a look. What? This is quite warm. Okay, so I'm gonna use this warmer brown here, just a tiny, literally I'm gonna like dip my brush in, same brush as I was using for the base shade, and just contour the eye just a tiny little bit. Give it a little bit of depth without being too much. I actually really enjoy this shade. It's not as warm on the eye as it kind of appears in the pan. It looks very kind of reddy brown, but on the eye it actually just translates into a really lovely, particularly paired with this shade, just a really lovely warmer tone, sure, but not too much. So for my topper shade for my eyes, I'm actually going to use this little e.l.f. palette, and this is one of their sort of face duo palettes where you get the blush and then you get a highlighter in the other side. Now, I'm not a massive highlighter person. I don't tend to put a lot of base products on, and so I just kind of find that highlighter is just a little bit too much. But I absolutely am a sparkly eyeshadow kind of a gal. So I'm actually going to use the highlighter as my eyeshadow topper kind of a shade. And I'm just going to get some on my finger. It's just beautiful. This is in the shade Pomegranate. It's got like a really beautiful, kind of neutral almost sparkly undertone. It is a little bit more gold, but it's kind of like a champagne-y gold. And I just think it gives you that gorgeous, you know, I'm wearing sparkly eyeshadow, but I'm not wearing glittery eyeshadow. That's an important distinction for me. And when I've worn this before, I wore it last week when I had a wedding gig to go to, and this is basically the exact makeup look that I did. I absolutely loved it. I thought it looked really beautiful, and it stayed looking beautiful all day. Combination of the primer, I think, but also just the eyeshadows wore absolutely beautifully. And I don't know whether it's because this is formulated, you know, to be a highlight, and therefore, you know, was formulated slightly differently. I don't know, but I don't get any fallout with this, like absolutely none. So, you know, and I am applying it with a finger, which helps for sure. When you're applying with things with brushes, it does tend to fly around the shop a little bit more, which is fair enough and understandable. But there you go. It's so easy. So if you are somebody that doesn't tend to do a lot of makeup, but you do want to have, you know, an easy blush and a quick topper eyeshadow for the special occasions, get your hands on this because it is lovely. Okay, so for brows, I'm going to use the Collection Incredibrow Brow Definer, and I'm going to use it in the shade Blonde. When I first apply this, I'm always a bit like, oh, the colour's like, I'm not sure about it. But once it's fully on and it's blended into your brows, it's actually a really nice colour. And the only criticism I really have of this product is that the end is too thick. It needs to be skinnier because it's a really soft formula, which I actually really enjoy because it makes it easier to, you know, blend it through your brows and you're not like dragging on your skin. It does blunt down very quickly, and I think I'm going to use this product up pretty quickly as well because it does lay down quite a lot of product. So it's not the best brow product that I've ever used, but it's also, you know, it's also not the worst. Okay, so onto mascara, and I am going to use the e.l.f. Big Mood Mascara, and you've seen me try this before, so I won't dwell on it too much, but having used it for a few more weeks now, I would say that this doesn't replace my Bare Minerals mascara, so it doesn't replace my slightly higher end mascaras. I just, you know, I like expensive mascaras. I think I might just accept this as my lot in life. But it is still a really good mascara. Like, this is the best under £10 mascara I've ever tried, for sure. So from that perspective, you know, it ain't bad. I'm just picky, and I wish I wasn't, but I am. There we go. So you can see what I mean about this one. It's quite in my eyes, this is quite a natural mascara. So day to day, I really enjoy using this. It's just when I want to amp it up a little bit. So if I was going out for an evening, or again if I'm getting my makeup done for a gig, or you know, something where I'm going to be on stage or under lights and you just want a bit more, this isn't quite going to give me that. So that's why, like, I've been enjoying it for every day, but for like an event or something, I probably wouldn't reach for this. For powder, I'm going to use the Collection Lasting Perfection Sheer Loose powder, and this is in matte. Now, I've been really enjoying this powder. I think just the more I use it, the more I've been enjoying it. You do have to use it sparingly, just because it's got quite the brightening effect to it. And like I said when I first unboxed it, it says it's translucent. It's not. It does have a very slight bit of pigment, and I think if you were using a lot of it, if you're somebody that wants to bake, or you just tend to use a lot of powder to set your makeup, this would give you flashback. I'm almost certain of that. But if you use just a very light amount of it, and you know, shockingly enough, I don't walk around getting flash photography taken of me all the time, then it's absolutely brilliant. I love the finish it gives to your skin, because you've still got a bit of life to your skin, but if you are oily or a bit shiny, it'll just completely take that away. But it is absolutely invisible on the skin, which for me is the main thing really with powder. I can deal with it not mattifying me to absolute paper, which, to be fair, I mean, I don't want it anyway, but as long as it, I mean, if it shows up on the skin, I mean, I'm like, nah, get out. For blush, I'm going to use the pinky blush in the other shade, in the other side of this e.l.f. highlighter and blush kind of combo. This is a shade which sometimes I love on me and sometimes I don't. I can never quite decide, but it does have a little bit of luminosity to it. And I say luminosity because it kind of catches the light slightly, but it is not in any way glittery. I've had glittery blushes before and you're just like, sorry love, but you're a bit much, you know? You know that audio where it's like, if I met me, I might think, you know, he's nice, but he's a bit much. This shade is a really lovely mauvey pink shade. I think it does translate really well from the colour in the pan to the colour on your cheeks. It's not too pigmented either, because I actually don't like a blush that's too pigmented, because I like to be quite subtle with my blush, which is often why I find it doesn't show up too much on camera, because I do it how I like it in real life, and then I edit the footage back and I'm like, it looks like I have no blush on at all. There you go, you can see it does give you that little bit of kind of highlightery effect, but without making your whole face a glitter ball. So I'm actually a really big fan of this. The only thing I will say is that if I don't use a setting spray with this blush, then it does tend to wear off throughout the day. So it isn't a super long lasting one, but equally, you know, if you're doing your makeup before going out to work, this will be fine. Like it will do you to the end of the day, maybe with a top up in between if you really wanted to, but it wouldn't last you from dawn till getting home from a night out. So for lips, I'm actually going to use a lip liner, which I never do because, to be honest, I'm lazy. And lips is the part of makeup that I find the hardest to get right. No matter what I do, I always look at myself and kind of go, ooh. I don't know why. I just really struggle to find colours that really suit me and work with my skin tone and that I enjoy. And I think I always feel like I'm gonna smudge it, and therefore I feel like my face is really stiff because I can't talk properly and I can't eat properly, so I don't tend to wear a lot of lip products. But this is something that I kind of want to change, because I always think people, whenever they have, you know, really nice lipstick on, just look really polished and put together, and I want to be one of those people. So I'm going to use the Revolution Satin Kiss Lip Liner in the shade Fling, and I know this is one, so this is one that Rebecca sent me, and I know that this is one that she really enjoys, so hopefully it will also suit me. We have slightly different skin tones, so we shall see, but it looks like a really lovely kind of mauvey mauvey nude, so hopefully this will go very well with the blush colour that I have on. Okay, so this is actually a colour, like I said, I have used this once before when I was filming the video the first time. But this is actually a colour I do actually really enjoy. I think it's quite a good autumnal kind of a nudie colour because it's a little bit deeper, it's a little bit richer, and it will come across quite bright on camera because that's just what my camera does to things. But the thing I find difficult with lips is basically my top lip. When I smile or when I talk, my top lip like stretches out, so it looks a lot thinner than my bottom lip. But when I overdraw the top lip, it just looks, honestly, it looks hilarious. And then I'm just going to go over the top with this is an e.l.f. lipstick in Seriously Satin, and this is the shade Taffy. And I'm just going to very lightly go over it, just because this lipstick is quite a bit more pink than the lip liner. There we go. So I just wanted the colours to blend in together, and I actually really like them. You can feel it on your lips. It does feel like I have lipstick and lip liner on. It's not a completely weightless formula, but I really like the finish of this lipstick. It is very, I would call this more of a matte than a satin, if I'm being perfectly honest, or it's a very matte satin, if that makes sense. So I really like that finish because it's not too shiny. If I'm going shiny, I'm going to put full gloss on, and I want it to be really like a lot. But I find with more slippy formulas of lipstick, I'm again more paranoid about it just getting everywhere and getting on my teeth and all of that. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you have enjoyed. I just wanted to have just a bit of a play with some makeup and just to do my makeup a little bit fancy, but nothing too much. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. It'd be so good to have you. I just make videos, yeah, it's all about cruelty-free beauty really, and just have a bit of fun with it. Don't take it too seriously, and yeah, that's basically it. I have nothing more profound than that to say, so I will see you guys in the next video, which is going to be an updated skincare routine, just because a few of the products have changed. In fact, most of the products have changed since I last filmed my skincare routine. So I will be updating you guys on that very soon, but have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! It's not the breath. So, I'm going to be using the Revolution London Satin Crisp. I cannot talk anymore, I just got to that point.